Good morning and happy Mother's Day. We celebrate many things today, Mother's Day being one of the top of the list, along with Good Shepherd Sunday and Vocation Sunday. And they all really tie in together. They all come together with the one question: how much difference can one life make in the world? One life, your life. It makes all the difference. One life can change the world. Take, for example, today, Mother's Day. Before 1914, there was no Mother's Day on the calendar. Of course, we always honor our mothers, but there was no official day in the nation that we set aside especially for mothers. But there was a lady named Miss Jarvis, and when her mother passed away, she would give out carnations to people on her mother's birthday in remembrance of her mother on her Memorial Day also. And so the carnation originally was the flower that was associated with Mother's Day, and she lobbied, she asked, and finally President Woodrow Wilson in 1914 put it on the official calendar, the second Sunday in May. And now it's celebrated all over the world, not only here, but in many nations. One person, one life, put Mother's Day on the calendar because of her great love for her mother. Sometimes someone has to lead, to set the example of what we all should know to do, what we should be doing. But it takes a leader to make it happen. Of course, we only have to look to Jesus himself as the Good Shepherd, as that one leader who leads all of humanity back to the Father. But even that wouldn't have happened without his mother, without Our Lady. You know, as Catholics, we actually have three mothers. Of course, we have our birth mother, and maybe any other mother who raised us along the way, but especially Our Lady, who gives birth to our devotion and who gave birth to Jesus himself. And finally, Mother Church. Mother Church gives birth to us through baptism, gives birth to us through the sacraments, and continues to nourish us. But let's think about our own mothers. You know, before we even knew our name, before we had any memory, we already lived. Our mother had carried us in the womb through many hardships, many pains of the body, many ups and downs, but then finally we came to the light of day, and she held us for the first time in her arms and nursed us, passing her immunity to us. She was our home, our comfort, for the first few years before we even could remember who we were. And then finally, one day, we looked up and we said, oh, she has an ear, she has a nose, I have a nose, I have an ear, you're just like me. The first face we saw in our life was probably our mother. Is there any greater image of God than that? God who created us from before time began, who had a plan for us, who brought us to the light of day, who nurtured us, and who one day said, yes, you are created like I am in your image. We share the same image, and one day you will see me face to face. So our mothers are not just as simple as we think. Motherhood is a very complex thing. What a great gift, the gift to the world. Without motherhood, there would be no life. Today, also connected to that, is Vocation Sunday. You know, there was a cardinal. He had just been given his ring, his big ring, the red clothes, and he was on his way to becoming the Pope, and he went home to his mom in Italy. He was an Italian. He kind of bragged to his mom. He said, Mom, look at my bishop's ring. And she thought about it for a minute, and she said, Son, look at my wedding ring. Without this ring, you wouldn't have that ring. You wouldn't even be here. When we get older, when we become adults, sometimes we forget the early days, how much our mothers might have gone through to make us a success, to get us to where we are, and who are still caring for us until the very end. A mother's job is never done until that very last moment. And you know a mother's love is tenacious. It won't let you go. Vocations are all about perseverance. They're all about that nurturing of a gift, seeing it until it's actually conceived, grows, and maintained until the end. And so we need also to have that same nurturing for vocations in the church, for the religious life and for priests. Perfect example, our own local Sister Maria of the Trinity. You probably just know her as Sister Maria. But Sister Maria of the Trinity, one person, one lady devoted to God, has started 3 hospices that are run on Catholic morals, and there's 2 more that are opening. She's touched hundreds of lives. She was inspired to leave her original vocation and to do this special project for the Lord. And she also is the center that volunteers can come to, and they can learn how to care for others just like Christ did, sacrificing themselves for a year or more to care for those who are dying. And it's not like any other institution. It's not just a place like a medical institution. It is based on the Catholic Church. They have a chapel there. It's a place of prayer. It's a very unique place in the city in Edmond and also one in Texas. All of this is just to say, no matter what station we have in life, we are called to nurture each other. We are called to conceive the idea of holiness in ourselves and to bring it to light. So we want to thank, first of all, our own mothers who gave us that example. No matter how difficult times may be sometimes between families, we know in our hearts that we love each other, that our mothers love us so much, that God has given us this image. Even if your mother and father should abandon you, I never will, says the Lord. On Good Shepherd Sunday, knowing how much our families do love us, we know how much more the eternal love of God awaits us. So God bless you all. We'll have a blessing for the mothers at the end of the Mass. And so please don't leave early. I know you wouldn't. God bless you all. Thank you.